Even Floyd, when you make yourself like we got issues over anger, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
You think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
It took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money is gone, trust me. Now it's like, call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Wow.
Are Floyd's comments potentially in breach of contract? He could blow the whole fight up and never fight, and also have taken a cash advance on the fight he may not ever have. He's broke! I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Floyd is so badly hurting for money that this is the stuff he's doing. Knowingly signing contracts for a pro fight just to go and publicly undermine it while taking a cash advance. Essentially going, cool, I need that money now. Who cares?
Floyd Mayweather is now facing serious financial pressure as reports confirm the IRS has placed a lien on his assets over unpaid taxes totaling around $7.3 million from 2018 and 2023. The federal tax lien, filed in Las Vegas where Mayweather owns property, allows the government to claim an interest in certain assets until the outstanding debt is resolved.
Mayweather is being targeted by the IRS over unpaid taxes, with some of his properties and assets being held on lien until the full balance is paid off. And if not, said assets will be fully taken away. This report comes from Business Insider, but is also now being reported by Ring Magazine, in which they reveal that the IRS has filed a lien versus Mayweather in Las Vegas, currently putting a hold on Mayweather's Vegas property due to unpaid taxes stemming from 2018 and 2023 that have now ballooned to $7.3 million.
This is not the first time Mayweather has found himself in a dispute with the IRS. He was previously ordered to pay roughly $5 million in tax deficiencies plus $1.1 million in penalties for 2017, and had settled another $22.2 million in taxes connected to 2015. This isn't just a small issue being blown out of proportion, this is the government officially stepping in and freezing property in Las Vegas until the debt is cleared.
You think he's talking this trash because he wants a rematch? You think he actually wants
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can't spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
The lien, registered with the Clark County Recorder's Office, allows the federal government to claim an interest in certain assets until the outstanding tax debt is resolved. If the debt isn't paid, those assets could potentially be taken. An attorney for
Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really. Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Yeah.
Spends like
I
crazy.
mean, it only could go but so long. I mean, and you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy like
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow.
Right.
As long as you keep your spending under.
Mayweather declined to comment on the filing, leaving many questions unanswered. What makes the situation more concerning is the timing, because this comes right when Mayweather is already surrounded by questions about his business dealings and the upcoming fight with Manny Pacquiao. The rematch, which was scheduled for September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas, has now been postponed indefinitely.
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure?
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight, okay. Yeah, because I know he said...
I wouldn't fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight, yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so it's still happening then?
He has to remember that.
But it's still on? It's still happening?
Oh yeah, we did sign the contract already, so there's no reason why,
Why wouldn't?
yeah.
Pacquiao's camp released a statement saying a volatile mix of federal lawsuits, scheduling overbooks, and financial gridlock completely surrounding the Mayweather camp had caused the postponement. While Floyd publicly called the rematch an exhibition, reports suggest he signed for a professional bout, which could lead to legal problems if contracts are not honored.
Mayweather says that he suffered enormous financial harm and is missing at least $340 million from a reported $1.2 billion that he actually earned in his professional fight career.
Oh my goodness! 340? Who I got to swing on?
I mean,
What?
Ocho, that's in addition. So he's reporting that they boosted, however they did it, 340, but he earned 1.2. So that's 1.5.
Damn.
At the same time, there are claims that he used that same fight contract as collateral for a loan, which raises even more questions about financial stability behind the scenes. Court records show that events company CSI Sports has sued Mayweather to recover at least $4.65 million of the money they paid him for exclusive rights to promote the Pacquiao rematch and an exhibition bout with Mike Tyson that failed to materialize.
I boxed everybody. I boxed everybody, and it's so crazy. Like, I had a lot of great days, I had a lot of bad days in the gym. But I tell them I never have bad paydays.
Dimitri Salita told me a story that one time a known heavyweight challenged you. You told Leonard to go get your bag and you dropped him with the body shot.
In a boxing gym, it don't count. You can have good days, you can have bad days. A lot of times guys do good in the gym. They be happy. They feel like if you done good with Floyd Mayweather in the gym, oh, I want a world title, Well, you gotta really look at this now. Slow down. You go home to an apartment. I go home to a palace. There's a difference.
Now, Floyd,
when you say your name, when they say these fighters' names, they say thousands and millions. When you say Money Mayweather, you say Bill.
On top of that, multiple Mayweather gyms have reportedly shut down due to unpaid staff and rent issues, with Pacquiao even stepping in to acquire one of the locations and rebranding it. Employees at Mayweather's Los Angeles gym staged a protest, holding signs that read modern-day slavery, and the team has no, after they claimed they hadn't been paid for weeks.
That money to the IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect, and it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
The gym in Hollywood was reportedly shut down amid labor problems, with staffers alleging violations of California Labor Code 210, which imposes penalties on employers who fail to pay employees on time. One of the gyms in Elk Grove, Sacramento, was also closed in May 2024 after the landlord sued over $30,000 in missed rent payments. The silence from Mayweather and his legal team only adds to the uncertainty, because there are a lot of moving parts here, and none of them look simple. Whether this gets resolved quietly or turns into a bigger legal and financial battle, it's clear that this is one of the most serious situations Mayweather has faced outside the ring. He has also—
Mayweather did that, but you can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million or whatever for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable, it's free.
Been charged in Nevada with felony theft and passing a bad check in connection with a $200,000 luxury watch purchase from a Las Vegas business. A certified letter was mailed to Mayweather notifying him of the returned item and demanding payment in full, but the amount wasn't paid. And just when everything around Floyd starts looking like a paperwork storm waiting to explode, Timothy Bradley jumps in and instead of panicking, he basically says, hold on, this might just be business moving exactly how Floyd wants it to move.
It's basically free money. So we know, Mayweather was, it's been reported, I should say, allegedly, that, you know, he's been, you know, a little upside down on some of his taxes and some of his properties. And I guess he needed to come back and fight and take care of that. Well, he got some cheese from that advance.
Isn't defending the situation blindly, but he's breaking it down from a fighter's mindset, saying those advanced payments, that's leverage if you structure it right. He's hinting that if Floyd secured money up front and locked it in a certain way, then switching from a real fight to an exhibition might not be chaos, it might be strategy. Bradley even hinted that Floyd might have already handled some of those financial issues with that upfront money, which flips the narrative again because now it's not desperation, it's maneuvering. And I'm sitting here thinking that's the most Floyd thing possible. Because while everyone else sees confusion, Bradley is suggesting Floyd might already be 10 steps ahead, handling obligations, clearing pressure, then adjusting the terms to fit his reality now. Which is a 50-year-old.
Oh, that money he received, I'm pretty out, man. Damn it, I don't know for sure, but damn it, I'm probably about. I know I'm 85, 90%. I'm telling you, because I don't think he'll be doing this. You know, this is business. So he's just saying, I understand it was a real fight, but now I want to change it. I want to change it now. I got my advancement. Now I want to change it.
Fighter not trying to go to war unless it makes perfect sense. But here's where it gets tricky, because even Bradley admits, yeah, if you sign for a real fight, then you sign for a real fight. You can't just rewrite that mid-story without consequences. Bradley himself had a near miss with a Mayweather fight, recalling a phone call offering him $8 million to fight Floyd instead of Pacquiao, but the deal fell through when he asked for half the money up front. So now you've got this tension where Floyd could be operating like a businessman, but the system around him still expects a fighter. And that clash right there is where things can get messy. Bradley even...
Right now, Floyd's not the same Floyd that he was back in the day, so... Okay. You know, maybe he's a little bit older and he's not moving as much, and you know that when you get a little bit older, sometimes you don't have the same foot movements like that, and you're able to get hit with some shots, so... Maybe Manny has a chance to get in there and do some stuff, but Manny also had seemed like some complications with I don't know if he had some kind of stroke or something in the sparring with that. I thought I seen. So I mean, there's stuff going on with him too as well. So, you know, we will see.
Hints that Floyd might have already handled some of those financial issues with that upfront money, which flips the narrative again because now it's not desperation, it's maneuvering. But at the same time, the outside pressure isn't going away. IRS, contracts, partners, all watching closely. So now the question isn't just what Floyd wants to do, it's whether he can actually bend everything around him to match that plan. And knowing Floyd, you can't rule it out. And just when Bradley's over there breaking everything down like a business seminar, here comes Shane Mosley with a completely different energy. Not contracts, not percentages, just straight fight reality. And it hits different because this is a man who's actually been in there with both of them. Mosley isn't giving...
The harder puncher was Manny Pacquiao, but the most difficult was Mayweather.
Okay.
As far as, you know, his IQ. You know, he had a better IQ, but Manny had a harder working, you know, repetition where he'll come at you, he's working hard, he's trying to get you. Whereas Mayweather's more technical. And we'll sit there and pick your...
Giving you some loud prediction, he's almost hesitant, like he knows too much to speak too confidently. And that's what makes it real. He straight up says, look, Floyd isn't the same guy physically. Maybe a step slower, maybe easier to touch now. And instantly your brain goes, okay, so Manny's got a window. But then he flips it and brings up Pacquiao possibly dealing with his own issues, training complications, and now it's like, wait, so both guys might be compromised. That's when this fight stops.
If you ask me, as a boxer, I don't need somebody to push me to work hard, work more, but I did. I always put that in my mind when I'm in training. I have to do extra mile to get that condition.
Being about who's better and starts being about who's less worn down. Manny brings that volume, that chaos, that constant pressure. But Floyd is the guy who solves problems mid-fight like he's doing math in there. And when Mosley says Floyd was the more difficult fighter, but Manny was the harder puncher, that tells you everything in one line. One guy breaks you down mentally, the other one tries to overwhelm you physically. Then he casually
Purpose of exhibition that was long time ago, year after our first fight, but I didn't agree. And then I want a real fight, so he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight. He got his advance, so there's no reason to make excuses of that. So that's true.
He drops that moment where he hurt Floyd, and you can feel it like even now he's thinking, man, if I had my legs that night. And that's the thing about Mayweather, you get a moment, just one, and if you don't take it, it's gone forever. So now apply that to today, older versions, slower reactions, less margin for error, and suddenly this rematch doesn't feel like unfinished business. It feels like a completely different fight with familiar names. And just when Mosley is breaking this whole thing down, here comes Manny Pacquiao with the calmest delivery imaginable, and somehow it hits even harder because there's no hype, no noise, just quiet certainty. Manny starts off talking about humility, discipline, faith, and you're thinking, this is going to stay reflective. And then boom, he slips right into the real issue, basically.
Well, we all look forward to that fight. I mean, he signed a real fight, and he got his advance, so then now makes excuses, no?
He's saying, we signed a real fight. He got his advance. So what are we talking about? And I'm sitting here like, that's the cleanest pressure you can apply. No insults, no theatrics, just facts repeated until they get uncomfortable. Because while everyone else is debating possibilities, Manny is treating this like it's already settled, like there's no version of reality where this turns into an exhibition without it looking like a step back. Then he doubles down in that same tone, no excuses, no confusion, just a straight line. And that's what makes it dangerous, because you can't really argue with someone who isn't emotionally invested in the argument. At the same time, he's talking about pushing himself in camp, doing 30+ rounds a day, preparing like this is a real war, not a showcase. And that contrast right there is loud without him raising his voice once.
I'm doing exhibitions, and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions?
On one side, you've got adjustments, negotiations, possible pivots. On the other side, you've got a man saying, I'm training for a fight. Period. And that's when it shifts, because now it's not just about contracts or money, it's about who is actually committed to the version of the fight that was promised. Meanwhile, Pacquiao's acquisition of one of Mayweather's former gyms and rebranding it as Pacquiao Prime Boxing has been seen as a subtle punch at Mayweather's financial troubles. And when you take all of this together, it doesn't feel like one storyline anymore. It feels like layers stacking on top of each other until you can't ignore what's really happening underneath. On one side, you've got the financial pressure, the IRS situation, the contracts, the business side closing in. All of it raising serious questions about what's going on behind the scenes. Then Bradley steps in and flips it, making you think, hold on, what if this isn't chaos? What if this is calculated? What if Floyd is still playing the same chess game he's always played, just at a different stage of his life? And just when you start leaning that way, Mosley comes in and grounds everything back in reality, reminding you that no matter how smart the business moves are, the body still has limits. Timing still changes, and this version of Floyd isn't the same one that built that untouchable aura years ago. Then Manny walks in, calm, composed, not even trying to win the narrative, just stating facts like they don't need defending. And suddenly, the whole situation becomes even more uncomfortable. Because now it's not about who's right or wrong, it's about who's actually standing on what they agreed to. That's where everything collides. You've got business versus obligation, strategy versus expectation, legacy versus reality. Floyd might be trying to control the situation like he always has, adjusting the terms, protecting himself, making sure everything works in his favor. But the problem this time, there are too many moving parts, too many people involved, too much attention on every step. This isn't just a fight anymore. It's a situation where every decision carries weight legally, financially, and publicly. And while Floyd has built his career on staying one step ahead, this might be one of those rare moments where the pressure isn't just coming from an opponent, it's coming from every direction at once. So now the real question isn't just whether the fight happens, it's what version of Floyd we're actually looking at. Is this still the master strategist controlling the board? Or is this a situation where things are starting to slip just enough for people to notice? And on the other side, you've got Manny steady, prepared, locked in, not changing his stance at all, which only makes the contrast sharper because one side is adjusting while the other side is standing firm. As Pacquiao's team put it, if a house is already half on fire, let it burn to the ground. You're not going to save the house when it's half on fire already. So let it burn to the ground, and then we rebuild it. That's what's happening right now in front of everyone's eyes. Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.